Okay, mic test 1 2 1 2, mic test 1 2. Let me know you can hear it.
So we're looking now to the market on open imbalance. The S&P 500 is a sell side, 384 million, a Nasdaq 100 a buy side of 63 million, a Dow 30 a sell side of 99 million, Mag 7 stocks seeing a buy side imbalance of 58 million.
Welcome everyone to the Pro Trader and Plus Preliminary University of Michigan Consumer Confidence Report. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. I am not a financial advisor. It is possible to lose money trading futures. Okay, everyone, let me just make sure that the webcam can be seen. Sometimes YouTube is a little bit strange. It should be working fine. So make sure you can hear me and you can see me. The markets are opening right now. We've got our news set up, watching gold on the right, ES on the left. Okay. And everything looks like it's working great. All right, let's just wait 10 seconds, let everyone get here. Okay,
ECB's
everybody's now
Lagarde
here.
says the rate cut reflects sufficient confidence in
Let's
inflation.
take a look at what we got going. Just a heads up, when the trade is over, I have to bolt right out of here. I can't stay and show the video. Unfortunately, I have, I told you what happened. I woke up a couple of days ago. I can't hear out of my right ear. And I'm too embarrassed to tell everybody why, but I sleep in my earbuds, and you're not supposed to do that, the ones I was sleeping in. So I probably have earbuds that have been bothering my ears. I never stop with headsets and earbuds and headphones. And I'm an out of control person when it comes to audio. So I have to get to the doctor. It's my doctor's harder to see than the president of the United States. He's just impossible. Anyway, so I got to get to him the minute this trade is over. So, what are we going to do? Let's look at the DMM. What are we going to do? So we have two setups. We've got gold and we've got ES breakout. Um, and they're both decent. This report can be whippy, okay? I mean, and what report can't be? I mean, that's what we're always dealing with. The biggest enemy to breakout trades are whips, okay?
Euro
This
franc falling
particular
0.9% to the lowest since February
report
28th.
is the preliminary version of the data. So that's the
Shortly
most
expecting comments from ECB's
impactful
Kazakhs.
data. The secondary trade is revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment. Years ago, we never even traded revised data. They just didn't move markets. But that changed. The pandemic changed so many things. We just started to see that revised data on many reports was changing the way it impacted to the news. So, but this is preliminary. So, in theory, this is the most impactful of the data. So, it's
cable drops
On
spot
gold,
8% to the
it's a
lowest since
10
May
bracket.
17th as well.
It's a stop of 12. Targets 10 and 25. And we have an ES breakout setup also. I like the ES as well. I'm going to trade both. I'll trade one of them in my Buell Knox prop account, and I'll trade one of them in the cash account. And I think what I'll do is trade gold in the cash account because it's the primary DMM, and I'll trade the ES in Buell Knox. So let me just change my charts. My left chart's going to be gold. Gold is 824. And last month was a pretty lousy response to the news. I'll show you the video in a minute. Whoop, I'm definitely dangerous. And we're getting closer and closer to rollover on the indexes. If we look at the current instrument, let me show you what I'm talking about. So I have this little template that I use to analyze contracts. Only 3 days till rollover, so we're definitely probably have some mixed volume. Just out of curiosity, I like to look. Let me see if I've added the new ES contract. So I haven't added the new ES contract to my platform yet. So I go to Tools, Instrument Lists, Futures, Add ES 0924, YM 0924. I already added that one for today. Now I can go back and look at my market analyzer again under New Market Analyzer. Find that little chart again, and then I'm going to look at the volume on the ES. So there's quite a bit of volume being taken away by the future contract. It's still significant volume. So it's just something to be aware of. It's not going to really change what we do today. So gold, the setup, it's a breakout trade. I'm going to trigger it at 9:59.59. The bracket is 10, and our targets are between 10. I think 10 and 25 is pretty good. You could do 8 and 23 if you don't have to do the exact same targets that we use. You can always mix them up a little bit. Okay. The stop is 12, and I would move my stop to break even minus some X amount of ticks if it does hit my first target. This report, we have traded it as a trap trade. So we know that it does have a propensity to reverse. So when I trade a report that does a lot of reversing or really has a strong possibility of reversing, I mean, all reports have possibility of reversing. Some are stronger than others. But as of late, I've been using the target one stop move a lot. We said that 1 month or 1 2 week period, we're going to do an experiment and just trade every report and never move the stop ever and just see what the results are. I think it would be an interesting test. So 9:59.59 is our trigger, brackets 10, targets anywhere between 8. I'd say you could go 8 and 30, let's say. The stop is 12. And then target one stop move, break even minus 3 is good. -4 is fine. Break even -2, whatever you feel comfortable. It's not etched in stone. I just want to try to protect some profit if it hits the first target. And it's GC breakout. That's my label. And I know I'm using the new software. So I'm going to save a template. You all don't have to save templates because when we go to the new software, the templates are different and we are literally like a week away from the new software. Very, very, very close. You're starting to see emails. So tomorrow I have a webinar with Traders Corner. We're going to introduce the challenge. The challenge is going to be also coincide with the release of our software. So I'll put the link in for the challenge. What's today's date? Is it the 14th? It's not the 15th. And I'll check my bracket. Everybody, don't forget, check your time sync. Let's always try to remember to do our time sync early. So if you have a problem, you have plenty of time to take care of it. All right?
Order submitted. Order
You
canceled.
want plenty of time to take care of your time sync.
Order submitted.
All right,
Order
we've got our
canceled.
brackets. The market's just opening. Gold is so volatile. I mean, I don't ever recall days when we had 20 and $30 moves in gold as regular behavior. What's happened is we're now seeing regular behavior from gold with $20 moves. I mean, years ago, that was unheard of. It was unheard of, but so many of these market moves are huge and unheard of. It's it's what we see. And let's be honest, it all started um, it all started with the pandemic. The pandemic has changed everything. That's no problem, Roz. All right, so we have an ES set up. I'll do that on Buell Knox. So I'll tell you what, let's do our time sync because I said let's do it early. So what does it mean to do our time sync? It means we go to the website, time.is, log in there, not log in, but go to the website and it checks your computer if it's in sync. If it's not, most of you know that in the trade room, when you're in the trade room here, there is a taskbar up above, and on that taskbar is this room drive. In that room drive are files. There's a squeeze in there. There's a couple of lessons in there on replay and playback. And there are two programs that help you put your computer in sync. They're both free. Just download them and install them. One is called D4 Time, Dimension 4. The other one is PT Sync. It's Karen's Time Sync. People say Karen's a little bit easier to use. I've used Dimension 4 just because I used it all my life. So that will help you if your computer doesn't go in sync. Some computers have trouble syncing. I hate investing.com so much sometimes. All right, ES setup. It's also a breakout. So don't forget, I'm going to have to zip right out of here the moment the trade ends. I'll try and hang a minute or two. 959.59, bracket of 8 on the ES. And I'll tell you something. I'm going to go a tiny bit bigger on the ES. The markets are just a bit more volatile, and I just want to just go with a little bit bigger bracket. If we get a great move, we won't be leaving a lot of profit in the bracket. The profit target, not gigantic, 8 and 14. The stop is 12. All right, the stop is 12. And target one stop move, which I am using these days, break even -2. Going to go down, and of course I'm going to label it. It's very important to label it because you need to be different, has to be a differentiation between the gold setup. Apply it, and then I will save my template. University of Mich ES, today's date. The main reason I save templates in the trade room is in case I have a problem and have to re-enter the trade again, it is a lot faster. Ultimately, I love
Order
templates.
submitted.
Now I have to be on the right chart so you see the brackets look good.
Order canceled.
ES break. I said I was going to use my Buell-Knox account. Put the time back. Never really got an answer from Top Step about all the issues I've been having with our Top Step account. They just don't answer me. So I don't know. What's strange is it behaves like a evaluation account that got busted, but I'm not below any of the thresholds. It's kind of crazy. So I'll just make sure that our charts are all matching. Trigger time 9:59:59. Bracket between 8 and 10. I like the bigger, little bit bigger. Targets of 8 and 14. Stop is 12. And I will move my target one stop move. For people that don't want to move the target one stop move, you don't have to. Um, with chart trading, you can move orders, you can move anything you want manually. It's very easy on the chart, but also you can trail. If you want to trail your stop, trailing stop mode goes on. Okay, you can even start your trail when target one gets hit if you so chose. To turn trailing on, you just turn the mode on. The method we use is tick for tick, and the number of trailing ticks is 1. It ignores the fixed distance. That's something special that we don't normally use. Um, Number of trailing ticks, every positive movement by 1 tick will move the stop 1 tick in direction of your trade. There's nothing wrong. There's the concept of, do you or do you not believe in protecting profit if your first target is hit? Okay. That's a question for how you might want to trade. Not everybody trades the same way. Some people never, ever, ever move their stops. And obviously, with trading, there's not wrong and there's not right. There's a million different methodologies. Obviously, everybody has different styles of trading, different risk tolerance, and different rules that they're following. And you can't say that I'm right and you're wrong because it just doesn't, it's not quite that cut and dried all the time. Obviously, there are times when someone could say, well, do this, don't do that. and it makes sense to do it. But in terms of trading style, everybody is different. All right, so
At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we get the
markets are
University of Michigan
still,
data
you know,
prelim forecast
acting like
72
the
on the prior
markets are
69 spot 1 with a range of
fresh off the
75
open.
to 65.
Okay,
1 year inflation prelim forecast 3 spot 2% on the
our
prior 3
brackets
spot
will show up
3% with a range of 3 spot 3% to 3 spot
1
1%.
second before the
5 year
news
inflation
gets
prelim
released.
forecast 3% on the
Last
prior
month,
3% with a range of 3% to
this
2
did
spot
not have a
9%.
good trade.
Condition prelim forecast 72 spot 2 on the prior 69 spot 6.
We were doing the same setups. Gold on the left, ES on the right.
And
Gold
expectations
struggled
prelim
more than
forecast
the
72
ES
on the
last
prior
month.
68 spot 8.
Gold did a whip, and the ES hit the first target and the second target. Okay, the ES had a much better move. In April, here's the registration if you want to come to Trader's Corner, trying to do 10 things at once. ES again hits the first target. I was trading the ES, not gold. Gold had a decent move though. We were looking maybe for a change in direction on gold. Let's see what we did in March. We've had a spike sheet. Okay, we have done trap trades on gold. And there is some inconsistency. 50 tick zone of safety. Back in July, there was almost a year ago, there was an 83 tick move. But overall, trap trades not bad on this report. But I know people don't enjoy trading traps all the time. Um, there are certain times when a trap trade can be much more risky. I don't think today is particularly extra risk on a trap trade, for instance, like CPI or PPI this week. Trap trades definitely could get blown out of super high volatility reports. Let's look at March. ES on the left, gold in the middle. Was watching bonds on the right also. Now that was March was a tough move on the ES. It would have been tough to get out with a profit because it dropped and reversed really fast. Dropped and reversed really fast. Looking at February,
At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we get our University of Michigan data, sentiment prelim, forecast 72 on the prior 69 spot 1, with a range of 75 to
February we were doing
65.
a trap trade, ES breakout. I definitely like the ES breakout
1 year
way
inflation
better
prelim,
than gold.
forecast 3.2%
If you want
on the
my
prior
honest opinion,
3.3%.
um, I would maybe do
5 year
micros
inflation
on
prelim,
gold, if
forecast
at
3%
all.
on the prior
And look,
3%.
the
Condition
ES may
prelim,
not
forecast
work, but it's
72
been,
spot 2
you
on the
see the
prior
videos,
69 spot
it's been
6.
much
And
more solid
expectations prelim,
as a
forecast
breakout.
72 on the prior
So
68 spot
tread
8.
very carefully with gold. I'm trading it because honestly, the report is 4 out of 6 winners. I would not trade my family's money on this report with gold, but the ES is much better month after month. So keep that in mind. You know, you could trade micros on gold if you just really want to trade and see how it goes, but I like the ES better. It just has had better responses to the news. So ES is on the right, gold is on the left. Okay. I'm trying to see. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you want to hit that like button, we would love that. I have to look all the way over to my left to see my laptop, my streaming laptop. I need to mount my laptop in a way that I could see it like right here, so I don't have to bend over, but the way my office is configured, it's not so easy. So they're expecting better consumer expectation. I would think that inflation expectation should be better on this report. The major inflation reports this week were all very good regarding inflation. You know, depending what you're willing to believe. I think inflation has slowed, but the problem that we talk about for regular people is that prices don't come down. Maybe they stop going up, but do they come down? Not really. I mean, the price of gas hasn't come down, it's gone back up, if anything. So it's extremely difficult to say that there is no inflation because to regular people, companies don't lower their prices. They haven't brought the price of Cheerios down, but they certainly brought it up. That's what regular people struggle with. All right, so we just have a couple of minutes, minute and a half to go. And like I said, I'm going to have to zip out of here right after the trade, so I'll close the YouTube stream pretty much right away. I'll try and hang for a minute or so. Okay, we have a minute to go.
1 minute remaining. I'll lead with University of Michigan sentiment prelim.
All right, we're just waiting 30 seconds. Our brackets will show up before the news.
Ten seconds.
All right, 10 seconds.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
65 spot 6, 65
Order
spot 6,
submitted.
lower than forecast. 72,
Order
5-year
filled.
inflation prelim, 3 spot 1%, 3 spot 1%, higher than forecast, 3%. 1-year inflation prelim, 3 spot 3%, 3 spot 3%, higher than forecast, 3 spot 2%.
The ES looks
Expectations
like it
prelim,
whipped
67
and
spot
filled at
6,
the top of the
67 spot
bottom of the
6,
candle.
lower than forecast,
That's what it
72.
looks
Condition
like.
prelim,
Gold, I'm
62 spot 5,
combining my
63 spot
orders,
5, lower than forecast,
bringing my
72
orders
spot 2.
down to see if I
Order
can get
filled.
out with a small profit. And I'll take a look at what happened on the ES. Looks like to me the ES whipped to the bottom of the candle and then filled
Seeing
at the
some
top of
slight
the candle,
downside in stocks after that.
almost at the top. And then it moved down. The news was negative. Okay. News was way more negative than expected. Way more
US
negative than
Treasury yields
expected.
hold declines. 10-year yield last down
Who
3.3
traded
basis
the ES?
points
I'm
to
curious what happened to you on the
4.207%.
ES. On the ES. MES, Calvin, you got an error. So I'm going to go quickly to the video. ES looks to me like it just had a bad move, filled to the bottom, filled at the bottom of the candle. Two seconds. I'm positive that's what happened. I was watching gold because that was in front of me. Here's the video. Watching the ES on the right. So it was such a fast move. That was the problem. The market actually froze. Not the market, the charts actually froze. And it filled, what
And we
happened
have
was it
posted the
filled
University of
at the
Michigan June
bottom
prelim
of
report
the
on the feed for all
candle,
those interested.
which is no way to survive a fill at the bottom of the candle. The move was so fast that I would think probably more than me, people could have had their charts freeze. It's possible. But my charts froze. The fill was already filled at the bottom of the candle. That happens before you even see it. And it is such a shame. If it's a little bit slower move, it hits both your targets. Or you don't have. So what happens is when a move is that fast, it all becomes slippage. There's no liquidity. There were no orders. So it fills when it starts to change direction. And that's where there are orders. And that's why it failed on the ES. And gold, ironically, gold had a little bit safer move initially. So look, it's been somewhat of a difficult week. There's been some really good trades this week, and there's been some difficult trades this week. I want to thank everybody on YouTube. Check your emails for the next time we stream. We'll be streaming next week. So thank you. I have to close the YouTube stream. Thank you for watching.